Long before humanity was created, long before our father Adam ever walked this earth, the world was alive. The oceans moved, the mountains stood tall, and unseen civilizations walked upon the dust of this planet. They were not human. They were ancient beings, some made of fire, others of elements long forgotten. They lived, they ruled, and they vanished. This is their story. The Qur'an tells us that Allah is Rabb al-Alamin, the Lord of all worlds, not just one species, not just one creation. Scholars like Ibn Kathir and al-Tabr wrote that before humankind, Earth was inhabited by other intelligent beings, the Hinn, the Binn, the Jinn, and others known only to Allah. Each of them had their time, their test, and their fall. Let's start with the Jinn. The Qur'an says clearly, and he created the Jinn from a smokeless flame of fire. The Jinn were among the first of these free-willed beings. They were given intellect, desires, and the ability to choose between right and wrong. For thousands of years, they roamed the earth. They lived in the mountains, the forests, and the seas. They built homes, communities, and empires, unseen to the eyes of the creation that would come later. Some worshipped Allah sincerely. Others rebelled, followed their pride, and spread corruption across the land. When their corruption filled the earth, Allah sent down armies of angels to bring balance back. The angels drove the Jinn into the deserts, the ruins, and the oceans. From that moment on, the Jinn became dwellers of the unseen, living alongside creation, but hidden from it. But the story goes even deeper. Before the Jinn, there were the Hinn and the Binn, ancient beings whose names have been preserved only in old commentaries and reports. They were said to be created from the winds and the elements of the earth, lighter than humans and swifter than beasts, with knowledge and strength beyond measure. The Hinn lived in the air and the Binn on the earth. Some scholars said they lived millions of years before the Jinn, filling the earth with life and movement. But like those who came after them, they became arrogant, violent, and unjust. They shed blood and spread corruption across the land. So Allah sent the Jinn to fight them, and thus the Jinn destroyed the Hinn and the Binn and took dominion of the earth for themselves. For ages, the Jinn ruled the world. They built kingdoms, crafted knowledge, and worshipped Allah, some sincerely, others in deceit. Among them were believers and disbelievers, truthful ones and liars, the righteous and the corrupt. The Qur'an later described them saying, "There were among us the righteous, and among us were those otherwise." They multiplied, they expanded, until again power turned to pride and pride turned to war. The Jinn fought one another, with tribes and nations rising and falling in battles unseen by human eyes. The earth became filled with their blood, and when their wars grew unbearable, Allah sent among them His soldiers, the angels of justice. From the heavens they came, not as destroyers, but as purifiers. They struck the tyrants among the Jinn, drove them to the corners of the earth, and chained those who rebelled. The most rebellious of them all, a Jinn named Iblis, was captured yet spared because of his devotion at that time. He was among the most pious of the Jinn, and his worship raised him to dwell among the ranks of angels, though he was never one of them. And for a time the earth became peaceful again, empty, waiting. After the wars of the Jinn, the earth lay in silence. Ruins stood where cities once were. Ash and stone replaced the life that had been. The wind whispered through the bones of fallen creatures, reminders of what disobedience had caused. It is said the angels looked upon this silent world and asked, "O Allah, will you create another who will cause corruption as those before did?" They remembered the blood, the fire, the chaos of the Jinn, but Allah knew something they did not, because the next being would be different, a creation of clay, with the breath of spirit within. The Jinn never vanished. They still live among us, in the ruins, in the mountains, in abandoned places, and in the empty spaces where we do not look. They can see us, we cannot see them. The Qur'an says, Indeed, he and his tribe see you from where you do not see them. Some of them still remember the old world. They whisper of ages when they ruled alone. Now they live in a parallel existence. Some are believers who pray, while others are devils who mislead. They eat, they marry, they die, and they too will stand before Allah on the Day of Judgment. Were there more? Some ancient scholars spoke of other species, like the Nasnas, half-formed beings resembling humans, and the Sila, the wild spirits of the deserts. Others said the earth itself once held creations of light and shadow, creatures between angel and jinn, whose names are now lost to time. Allahu A'lam, Allah knows best, because every world before ours was a lesson, a reflection, and a preparation for what would come next. So why did Allah create all these beings? The answer lies in His words. I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. Every creation, no matter its form, was made to recognize its Lord, and those who failed were replaced by others who would remember Him better. The Hinn were replaced by the Binn by the Jinn, and the Jinn by humanity. Each one had their time, each one was tested, and each one returned to Allah. So when you walk the earth today, know that your feet tread the same ground where ancient beings once stood. But remember this, unlike them, you were given something greater, the knowledge of right and wrong, the Qur'an, and the chance to choose paradise forever. The earth is ancient. Its soil carries secrets of forgotten ages. Beneath it rest the memories of those who came before mankind. They lived, they fought, and they fell. And we, the children of Adam, were chosen to carry the trust they failed. So walk humbly, worship sincerely, and remember you are not the first to live on this earth, but you might be among the last to truly remember why you were created. Thank you for watching. If you found this journey into the unseen world fascinating, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from our history. Until next time, peace be upon you.